Hi everybody. This is Miryam Bejarano-Gutierrez, and I'm the owner. For those of you that are new to this page, this is my little one over there singing and happy. So I just wanted to introduce myself too. First and foremost, as I mentioned before, Rebbetzin Miryam Bejarano-Gutierrez, and I'm the owner of Jewish Poetry Magazine. So, I wish you all that you had a wonderful, wonderful Shabbat and a beautiful, fruitful upcoming week. And so, the end of the year, of the secular year, is coming. And I found myself reflecting in many ways. We all gone through throughout the whole year, we have found ourselves in a very, 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 very difficult moments, emotional moments. We have had friends pass away. We have had financial hardships. We have had real close friends going through illness. So many things, so many issues, so many hard learning processes, which is what I like to call when we have hardships. To try to shift those kind of situations into a more positive light. And so, as you recall, in the Bible, when Moshe was helping the children of Israel pass through the seas when they were running from the pharaoh, he lifted his staff high up, and then the seas parted. I actually did this painting based on that, because I'm very much involved in art, and so it really got me thinking of this whole, COVID situation and those financial situation. And I just realized that we have our very own pharaoh inside of us. And what I mean by this is that we have our own fears that we go through. And my little one singing, sorry. We have our own situations, and in many ways entrap us. We feel trapped by these situations. Or maybe trapped emotionally, in an emotional way, maybe trapped in a spiritual way. And at times we seem to forget that when Moshe, the kind of emunah, the kind of faith that Moshe had, he has no doubt whatsoever of his trust with Hashem. He had no doubts of whatever Hashem taught him, he would do right there and then what Hashem would say. There were no buts about it. That kind of emunah, that kind of faith, is the one that is going to lead us into keeping Hashem, keeping his guidance as the one that will guide us through those moments that, like David said, if you make my bed hell, then there you are. In those moments is when Hashem is the closest to us. It's the moments when Hashem wants us to cling more to Torah. It is the times when we have to really think about Moshe and lift that staff high up and keep it up, and that staff become the Torah. The Torah is that staff. That staff is a guide that will take us through that sea, and that sea will part through prayer, to Torah study. That is the guidance. And even in those moments that we're going through such difficult times and such emotional times, even if we have been going through illness for a very long time, Hashem is the only one that can take us through that moment that we need to part those seeds. He will be the one that part the seeds for us. And don't forget to keep that staff up. Don't forget. Because when we do forget, then the burden becomes so heavy that we cannot handle it. Now, I'm not telling you that I have it figured out, because I do not. I'm always learning. We're all a work in progress. All of us. The fact that I'm quote unquote a spiritual leader does not mean that I have it figured out, God forbid. I do not. But it means that I've been in your shoes in some situations, and my heart is willing to put myself in someone else's shoes and try to help in the best way I can help. And in those moments, we can learn from each other. Like I said, I don't know everything, but I'm more than willing to help another person to go through that process together by raising that staff together, by learning and supporting each other, and in prayer, and because prayer, if prayer does not transfer on to actions, then prayer is meaningless. If Torah does not transfer to actions, to actual change, then Torah and prayer does mean nothing. If a person who davens and who prays Torah, but does not take that study and to actually work on themselves, then those issues that they currently have, they will stay there. That's why there's people who even though they pray, there's still a lot of heartache. There's still bitterness. There's still anger. There's still so many negative feelings there. They haven't worked on them. And they have not let them go. Because it's just mechanical. That prayer is just mechanical. When it needs to be a deep moment with Hashem. When you need to become a warrior, a prayer warrior in that moment, instead of going through those motions without meaning whatsoever. It is not a duty. Yes, of course, it's something that we need to do as Jews. We need to pray. We need to not just need to they pray. We also just need to pray, but we need to make those moments count, and not those moments not become like something that you just have to go through. Because that moment, that precious moment you have with Hashem, when He will lift that staff with you, that moment in that trial, He lift that staff of becoming, have that victory with you, and it's not going to be there. So, like I said, I don't know everything. But what I do know is that everyone needs each other. We all need each other to learn from each other, to nurture our minds, and from learning Torah, from being compassionate with each other, from listening, just to listen. It's a big help when you just listen to one person and just say, I'm here. Even if you don't have the answer, just by being there, you're there. It's just a big help with that person. You don't even know like how a smile can actually, what effect, a beautiful effect it has on another person who's going through so much pain. And just embracing another friend without saying nothing at all. How can that? It's just a big, big help. And just let them cry if they need to, or let them talk if they need to. And pray together. A spontaneous prayer can also be a really, really healing experience. But if you do it with your whole heart. Again, nobody's perfect. Only Hashem is perfect. I am not perfect, God forbid. So, the fact that you're not perfect doesn't mean that you're not qualified, or you're not worthy of standing before Hashem and pray to Him. Davening is very important, but also talking to Hashem from your heart and be truthful when you talk to Him. It is as important. Both things are so important. So in this coming secular year, if you could, it's time for introspection and time to truly try to find that peace and reach out to some other person who is struggling. You never know, even your spouse, you don't know. You don't fully know the hearts of men. Only Hashem does. So, remember how much time it took the children of Israel to go through that whole learning process. Because when they were in Egypt, they had absorbed some of the practices that the Egyptians did. So for Hashem, He had to, quote unquote, raise His children all over again. He had to renew their minds. He had to renew their hearts. He had to help them renew their neshamas. He raised them all over again. And that takes time. So Hashem also, always, if we're willing, He wants to renew our minds and our hearts and our neshamas. I'm not saying we all act like the children of Israel in those moments they were in Egypt. What I'm trying to say is that if they could do it, so can we. So if they were in such a low state of spiritual health, now that we have the Torah, and now that we are not in those levels, we're much higher. How much more so we should be doing that? Let's try to be closer to Hashem. Even if it takes you 5 minutes. You don't have the time because I'm a busy mom. I have 3 boys. Imagine that. I have 3 boys. There are times I don't have the time. And there are times when I can only say Modéani. But if I do it with my whole heart, that counts. So don't think that if you just can't do it, don't do it at all. Even if it's just Modéani, even if it's just saying a spontaneous prayer to Hashem, even if it's just that counts for something. If you do it with your whole heart and your whole mind and your whole neshama. So I hope that you enjoy this video, and I'm hoping to do more. And for everybody, Happy New Year. Well, secular year. And I hope that you have a wonderful year with your loved ones, and I hope you're healthy. There's health in your family. There's parnasah and sustenance from Hashem in all ways possible. So take care, and I wish you all Shavua Tov, and take care, everybody. Bye.